What if the wisdom you seek isn't necessarily in a book, a self-help book, or a program, or trial and error for a whole year or two or 10, a decade of lifetime of making choices that haven't supported you? What if clarity can come in a session with someone that you can have a safe place to share the good, the bad, the ugly, without judgment, without condemnation, without, well, you could have done it this way, shame, shame, shame. What if you would be able to access that person? You know, to me, that person is God, of course, but even coaches need coaches. And so what if you could have access to a free coach, an opportunity where you can share your story and get advice for free? What if? So today, I'm going to talk to you about the importance of a life coach, a certified life coach, because I think we're all life coaches in a way, especially for other people when you're judging them and you know exactly what they need to do, but not so much for yourself, myself. So, so today we're going to be talking about this new segment that we're starting in the classroom. If you already have membership in the blog, if you're registered on the website and you're getting your blogs from me already, then you already know what this is about. But if not, listen up because we're going to be talking about how you can have access to free life coaching. Oh, yeah. Get your paper, get your pencils, and get ready to take lots of notes because we are going to learn and grow together.
And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Hi, my name is Lily McDermott, and I am a certified life coach. I am a certified holistic cancer coach and the host of the Lillian McDermott radio show Classroom. If this is your first time in the classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide natural ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening, as well as my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. So here we go. Something new in the classroom. What is it for 2026? And I don't know how long this is going to last, so take advantage of it now because tomorrow is never promised. You only have now. So this year until May, maybe even more, I don't know. It's up to you. I am going to encourage you to share your questions, your anything that's going on within you. Share it with me, and then I will every week will gather some questions that are out there because this is what happened, and I will share what happened. My husband called me over. He always reviews and posts and does all the podcasts. And he calls me up and says, "Honey, come over here. I want you to see this." And we had some big name people in the classroom. And every time I aired a show or a class with just me, the numbers were triple, quadruple what it was with a guest. So we decided to try something different and new. Yes, different and new. And what is that? What it is we are going to do a free life coach session because this is what's happening in the world. We will spend an ungodly amount of money doing so many things when it comes to fixing our body. We'll go to the gym. We will pay a lot of money for fads, products that will get rid of our cellulite, that will make our body better, makeup that will make us look younger, fillers to make our face look younger, whatever it is. we will pay for it. But when it comes to your spirit, your soul, your mind, nah, that's not necessary. That's not necessary. So many of us will spend a lot of money fixing our body and buying products, as I said. But when it comes to our mind and our spirit, we ignore it. We say, oh, let me read this self-help book for my friend, for my husband, for my spouse, for my partner, for my child, for everybody but me. I was one like that too. When I was younger, I read every self-help book I could grab my hands on. I don't know if I was doing it for myself. No, I know I wasn't. I was doing it to fix everybody else. Honestly, we got to be honest with one another. Why we do what we do. I was ready to fix my parents, fix my siblings, fix my spouse, fix my children, fix everybody. Until one day, my youngest graduated from high school, and I was no longer, Mommy, I need your help. Mommy, do this. Mommy, do that. No longer was that a need anymore. And I was in my 40s at the time, and I thought, who am I? If my kids don't need me like they used to, and there was the crisis with the housing crisis, what's my role? What am I supposed to do here? Well, that's what ended up bringing me to where I'm at today. I decided that I needed to figure out who I was, what I wanted, but I never really shared it. I just prayed, God, show me. And then shortly after that, I had a friend, Michelle, who called me up to tell me about this workshop that she attended. I didn't have to hear anything else. I knew that invitation came from God, that it was time for me to focus on me and not try to fix everybody else. That is a strength that I have. I can see a problem before it becomes an issue. I can see the solution before anybody even sees that there's a problem. That is how I think. That is my strength. But it could also be my weakness because not everybody wants fixing. Not everybody wants solutions. Not everybody wants to just live the life that they want, that they could live. Not everybody wants that. So God set me there and cracked me wide open so that I could see what I really desired, what my fears were, why I did the things I did, why I had to do something first before I did something second, why I was unhappy, why I was happy, what made me happy. All these things gave my life meaning and purpose. It was like Lily or Lillian, meet Lily, who wants to come out and play. I didn't want to have those responsibilities of being mommy, but at the same time, missed and longed for being needed. Like when our kids were in college and they would call me and say, Mommy, I have this thing. What do you think? Or this job was offered. What do you think? And if I were a dog, my tail would be wagging. I longed for those moments, but those moments became far and few because now these children of mine that don't need my guidance, that I did a really good job with, whether they believe it or not. My husband and I did a great job, giving them advice and loving them the best way we could. Now they have their families. They're not calling me and saying, how should I take care of my kids? I didn't do that with my mom. I know how my mom raised me, and there were times where I just would choose the opposite. And there were times where I found myself going, Mommy, are you guiding me? Are you like, did you say that, Mom? Did you say that? So those are the things that I learned about myself. But then as I started learning and speaking this new language of truth, of awareness, of acceptance of who I am, and going back to that moment where I developed this habit and why I developed the habit and how to reconcile with that me back then so that I don't feel like I need to repeat it once again over and over. The lesson's been learned. What do I do now? And I loved it so much that I thought, I want to go back and learn how to do this with others, to do it in a way that's empowering, not critical, or that is in a way that helps them see their truth without judgment. And so that then started another journey for me, not just me as a person feeling whole, but now how can I learn for those opportunities that come our way to ask permission to be a guide if they want it, if they choose it. But during this whole time, I was doing the show. And it was probably the first year I started the show on the radio. That's when I started really questioning truth. What is truth? The Lily that started in 2011, the show, is different than the Lily who speaks to you today in 2026. So who am I? I am human. I am a child of God. I make choices that lead to gifts and lessons, aka mistakes. That's what you might call it. I call it a gift and a lesson. Now, it's only a gift and a lesson if you make the mistake once, right? You do it, you choose it, and then you learn from it. I am not talking about gift and a lesson when you're like, this day I did it, the next day I did it, the following week I did it, the next year I did it every day. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when something happens and you know it's not right. You know this is not what you want for your life. You know that this is not the way you want to be perceived. You know that this is not the friends you should have or could have, better friends. Like my friend Judy said to me that I was a balcony friend. And I'm like, a balcony friend? She said, yes, when you go and you go to a play, you have the balcony friends and you have the balcony and then you have the orchestra pit. There are friends that are bringing you down to the orchestra pit, and then there are friends who bring you up to the balcony. And I thought that was a beautiful and a very kind depiction of who I am. And I've always had that image when I think of Judy, that she is also my balcony friend. There are people in our lives that bring us down. There are people that we are married to, that we see every flaw. There are people that are in our family that as we started off as like playing together as children and now we're judging one another. How do we stop that? How do we stop that pattern in our life? If not, that you look at yourself. See, you can figure everybody else out, but who is helping you figure out why do you see that in that person? Because we see in others who we are. So you see, when I go back now and I look at all these self-help books that I was researching and studying and helping people with, it was really because I saw that in them and I needed to figure out how to do it for myself. God is good. God is good. So it doesn't take away that I didn't read the book, that I read the books for whatever reason I read it. I still read them and they became a little bit a part of me. And many of my friends would come to me for advice. And then I would give them advice as my tail is wagging. But then they would say, yeah, she's judgy. She's judging me. I'm going to walk away from this relationship. And then I learned, you better keep your mouth shut because people don't want to hear the truth. They just want to hear what they want to hear. But that's not, if somebody truly wants your opinion and they ask for your opinion and you share your opinion, if they get angry with you, then they really didn't want your opinion. But how do you know the difference? How do you not blow up a relationship because you're so willing to share? Now, I say this to my friends, I say this to my children, and And this is an agreement that I made with my husband that sometimes you just need to vent. You don't want things to be solved. I don't know why, but there are people that feel that way. I just need to vent. I don't want to help me solve the problem. I want to eventually solve the problem on my own. But some people just don't want to solve the problem. They just want to complain. When you keep your mouth shut, when you keep your mouth like, okay, are you wanting to vent or are you seeking a solution to this issue that has happened over and over and over again? What do you want? And it isn't until you ask the question, what do you want? And get that permission to speak that it is done properly. It is done properly. So when my husband brought me over and said, look, honey, look, these are the shows or the classes that people are watching, then that's when God spoke to me. That's when I shared in the past for my wish, or I think it was my wish, my picks for 2026, that I woke up saying, okay, Lord, show me the path. This is the 14th and a half year. We're going into our 15th year. What do you want from me? For my career, for my spirit, for my mind, for the show, for the class, for whatever it is that you call the Lillian McDermott Radio Show classroom. And I said, but I don't know. I don't know what you want me to do. And that still small voice in my mind said, but you didn't ask. You went through the holidays, going to parties, celebrating, decorating, being with family, being with friends, and you didn't stop to speak with me. You didn't stop to ask. And then I went, okay, I get it. Started journaling again, started asking God for guidance and wisdom. And then that's when the magic happens. That's when a student is ready, the teacher appears. And when the teacher is ready, the student appears. Either way, we're teachers, we're students. We need to do is ask. And that's what I did. I asked. I asked, and I was thrilled to see those numbers. And so this is my proposition for you. If you've made excuses as to why you can afford Botox and fillers and you can afford the latest trends and an expensive phone, a really expensive car, going out to dinner every day and having cafe lattes every morning or whatever it is. Not trying to judge it, but those are the things that we do. And then we say, I can't afford. And also the best clothing, going to the gym and paying for a personal trainer, doing all these things. But when it comes to our mind and our spirit or our soul, we go, oh, it's too expensive. I can't afford it. Let me tell you, it's not very expensive, first of all. Second of all, it doesn't take a lot to tweak. I have people that purchase the largest package that I offer that is 15 hours. 15 hours, you can use those 15 hours however you want to use them. That's $100. When you think about an outfit, a pair of shoes, when you think about the week's worth of cafe lattes, the way that we spend money on things that we really don't need, $100 isn't much. Well, you multiply that by 15, it is a commitment. But on the other side, for one session, it could be as much as $150 unless I offer a free coaching or something like that, or I do it because I offered it as a gift to someone. So $150 is a heck of a whole lot cheaper than a lot of the things that we waste money on. Why not? Why not take advantage of it? So I've heard that excuse. Oh, I can't afford it. I don't have the time. I don't think that it's going to work. Well, what is a coach? What is a coach? A coach is a partner in clarity. A coach is someone you hire to say, tell me the truth. How can I do this in a way that will support my goals? How can I achieve what I want to achieve when I haven't been able to achieve it as a New Year's resolution or a desire that I have in my heart? How can I do this without feeling judged, without feeling shame, without feeling like I'm a failure, that I'm actually going to speak it? Because I know that when I speak my truth and when I speak what I want, somehow, some things happen that will create this space for you to do it. Maybe you just need a little tweaking, and it's just as simple as that call. And then you've got it from there. I've got someone that comes and she gets the best package, the because she wants to pay less every time. And she says, every 3 months, I want to tweak, I want to balance, I want to do all these things. And I think it's great. What a great accountability partner that you get to just pour yourself onto without any friend recalling it later on and saying, well, you said this, and sharing it with somebody else, and that person tells another person. Next thing you know, everybody in your circle of friends knows what's going on with you and that you feel like a failure because you didn't do it. No, sometimes you just want that private space, that safe space. So this is what I'm going to do. If you are looking for that and you're done making excuses as to why I can't afford to work on my mind, my spirit, my soul, to achieve the goals that I really want to achieve without ignoring it and acting like I've been a failure. I really want to achieve this, but I don't want to tell anybody else because I don't want them holding in my head, oh, yeah, you want to do this, but look at what you're doing. You want to release 100 pounds, but look at how you're eating. You don't want that constant nagging failure reminder within your circle. That's when you benefit from a coach. I am not here to fix you. I'm here to work with you as a partner, an accountability partner that doesn't judge you if you do it or not. It doesn't matter to me. It's up to you. But will push and give you solutions and give you choices and help you with what it is that you want to achieve. Do you want to meet somebody? Do you want to have a new relationship? And you don't do the things that you feel is going to, you keep doing the same thing, like maybe Match.com or, there's other ways that you can meet people, a partner, someone, a soulmate without having to join Match.com. That might be good, and people may have met on that, but perhaps their goals are different than yours. What is it that you want? So that is what a coach does. Why free? Why now? Because of my awareness that you guys are loving the classes that I do on my own. So sometimes these classes are going to have a theme, and maybe that is your theme. But I'm not going to say, this is for Johnny in Pittsburgh with the last name such and such. I'm not. I am going to say, this is a question that was asked in the classroom. And how do you do it? You email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. Lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. I may not have time to sit with you, but will do a class for 55 minutes to an hour. Whatever it is that will help with your story, your journey, to lift you up to the balcony. So that is why I'm starting this. So why free? Well, they say that you get what you pay for, right? Sometimes people don't value free, but obviously you've been valuing the classroom. So maybe I have the topic for you and you can take and run with it. You don't need the coach cheering you on. You don't need that person holding you accountable. Maybe this is all you need, is to listen to the classroom and take it from there. Because my goal is for you to not need to come to me, but that may not be your goal. Your goal may be, I want someone to help me tweak things from time to time. Who doesn't need that? I could use that. Coaches have coaches too. I have my coaches that I go to. I ask the question. I try to figure out, why is this happening over and over again? And then when you sit and you ask the question, oh, God just pours the answers onto you. And maybe something I say today, you go, oh, she's talking just to me. Yes, I am. Just to you. Because if you're hearing this today, I am speaking to you. If you're hearing this any other time, whether it's, the day the class was published, or 10 days after, or 10 years after, and I'm still around, and you send me that email and you go, I really need to see how to create something different for me, because what I'm doing is not bringing me joy. It's making me frustrated, angry, and I'm angry with the world, but I don't mean to be. I want to be joyful. Does this sound like you? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe yes. We'll see. There are times that our life is great, and by everybody's perspective, it's great, but we deep down inside feel stuck. Why do I feel stuck? How can I get unstuck? What can I do to tweak things, my perspective maybe, and see the beauty of what I'm doing, or see that I need to run like hell out of that situation? Should have said heck, huh? But no, sometimes people are living hell. As you know, I don't believe that there is a hell, not the way we say it. I believe that hell is in our head by the thoughts we think over and over and over again. We might be surrounded by angels, but if your mindset is not adjusted properly, you don't realize that you're wearing a crown. It's just a little bit of tweaking. You realize, oh, it's not so bad. It's like the man who walks in to heaven with this cross, just like a heavy, heavy, heavy cross, praying to God to take away the cross. And God says, take the cross, put it down, and pick whatever cross you want. And you walk around looking at all the other crosses. You look, oh my God, look at how tall that one is. Oh, look at this one. Oh my gosh, wow, that's so wide and deep. And you go around and you look at every single cross there is in that room. And then, alas, you find the cross that's perfect. It's small. It's not so big anymore. It's just like, oh, this is the one I want. It doesn't look as big as my cross. And you grab it and you say, okay, God, this is the cross I pick. And then you hear that voice say to you, well, my child, that's the cross you came in with. Sometimes we don't realize that things could be worse, and that we just need to be grateful for what we have. But sometimes when you complain to your friends, they add fuel to the fire. Oh, let's flame the fan. Let's flame that fire. Let's get like misery loves company. Come on, come on. Tell me how bad things are, because I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna tell you how bad things are for me. And then all of a sudden, that friendship becomes like, who's most miserable? Do you have a friend like that? It's time to put them in the orchestra pit. It's time to start looking for balcony friends. People that will say, you know, you can do this. I believe in you. For some reason, we don't want to recall the traumas that we've had in the past. Oh, I dealt with it. Oh, yeah, I dealt with that trauma. I dealt with that divorce. Oh, but don't talk to me about him or her because I hate them. Well, guess what? That hate that is in you will create dis-ease in your body. Next thing you know, you're going to the doctor because you can't sleep, or maybe you have some problems with your bowels, or maybe you have some problems with your joints. That is lack of forgiveness. That is hatred consuming your body like a cancer. Do you need to learn how to forgive? Do you want to start the process of forgiveness? Well, write me a letter. Go to Lily at whenyouneedafriend.com. Don't text me, or you can text me and say, I sent you a letter, an email, because I need to be able to respond. Check out such and such a date. This is the day we're going to be doing this class, or maybe I hear you, we're going to do a class on this pretty soon. It'll be called this, so whatever it is, but email me at lily at whenyouneedafriend.com. We are heard all over the world. Who thought that this little class, this show that was 1 hour on a Saturday, the following year, 2 hours on a Saturday, the following year, 1 hour every day of the week. The following year, I was from Jacksonville all the way down to, not Jacksonville, Southeast Georgia, all the way down to Miami on the radio. 2019, I walked away from it, but I'm here still. Why? I'm waiting for you. That's why. I'm waiting to see what is it going to take for you to say, I do need to acknowledge that my grandmother was brutal, that she said these things. And perhaps maybe that's why I feel this way. Or maybe it was a boss or a ex-boyfriend that you had when you were in high school that said you were ugly or fat or whatever it was, or maybe you had aborted a child. Oh my goodness. That is a secret people take to their grave. But guess what? 98% of women who have committed abortion, and men too, regret doing it and live the rest of their life sabotaging themselves. There are people who were molested when they were children, and they're morbidly obese. 85% of them that are morbidly obese have been sexually abused. That doesn't mean that you were sexually abused if you're morbidly obese, but an 85% chance that you were. You can ignore it and protect yourself with all the fat, but that is not leading you to the life you want to live. I'm just being real with you because I want to make a difference. I want to be the change, but I can only be the change in one life, my life. You can only choose to be the change in your life. But that is a ripple effect. It's like a drop that falls on water and you see it go out. So being the change, and that is your desire. I want to be the change. I want to be a generational pattern shifter. I want to look within so that I could change the only life I have access to, my own. It requires boldness. It requires faith. It requires understanding that God created you perfect and that everything that happened to you has purpose. But I am not going to look at that as purposeful. That was an accident or that was a punishment from God. God doesn't love me. Have you ever found yourself saying that? Oh, if it only was bad luck, I would have no luck at all. I heard a friend say that, and I told her, never again will you say that again. Because the story she shared after that was amazing. But we see what we want to see. But how do we tweak it? Well, now you have an opportunity. You have an opportunity. Sometimes, and at the beginning, I think, I saw a lot more people say to me, I am coming to you because I want to fix my husband, or I want to fix my boss, or I want to fix just put your name there. But I only can help the people who show up. I can only, and I don't think you're broken. It just needs patching or mending or softening off the edges. It's not that you're broken. Your spirit can never be broken. Your spirit is whole. You just think it is broken. How do we switch that? How do we change that? Well, now you have the opportunity. When you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, when you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, you are able to say, it stops here. It ends with me. It's not going to be transferred through my DNA to the next generation. It ends here right now. Because sometimes when you heal yourself, it heals the bloodline. It heals the entire bloodline. It's just that frequency that we emit. So this is where the buck stops with us at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is where I say you can take a pill, you can take responsibility, because that not taking responsibility will lead to living life that is disingenuous. And your body knows that. Your body wants to be in alignment with your mind and your spirit. And so it pays for it. So if right now you have a diagnosis where the doctor is saying, yeah, take this pill and you'll always be on this pill, but you know that you want to get off the pill, could it be an emotional trauma? Could it be something in your life that you refuse to look at and say, I dealt with that when I was a kid? I actually said that during a workshop when I was going through my process of learning and growing, and I still am. So, this was a workshop that I attended, and I was picked out of the audience to recall a memory when I was a child where I felt less than. And I recalled a memory of my paternal grandmother telling me that if I stopped learning how to play the piano, which I wanted to stop learning how to play the piano, then she would stop loving me. Well, the reason why I wanted to stop playing the piano is that the teacher found out that I didn't know how to read music and just made me feel like crap. And I was just like 8, 9 years old at the time. And I grew up thinking I was unlovable because I made that story up about that incident with my grandmother. She didn't say, Lily, you're unlovable. She said, Lily, if you stop learning how to play the piano, I will stop loving you. And because I stopped learning how to play the piano, I believe she didn't love me. But that's the mind of a child. I knew she was trying to motivate me. But as I was telling the story that I've dealt with over and over again, I started to cry. And I became embarrassed because there was a bunch of coaches that were in the room. And I was like, I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know. I've already dealt with this. And everybody laughed. They were not laughing at me. They were laughing because they too had felt the same way. Just when you think you have resolved something, think again. There was an area that was untouched, that now you need to go deeper. And as I shared that, the teacher, the coach that was there teaching us all, said, now you get to go deeper into that experience because now your body has given you permission to dive deeper. Isn't it amazing how the body works? So go to whenyouneedafriend.com. And by the way, share this class with everybody, with your friends, because let them know that I am taking requests. I am taking, like if you have an idea for a class, maybe I can't do it myself. Maybe I just need to ask a professional, someone who is an expert at it. But if it's one for me, if it's a class that you just have a topic or, a situation in your life, then let them know that I am here waiting for you. So go to whenyouneedafriend.com. Please become a subscriber. You have to be a subscriber in order for it to come to fruition. Just invest in the classroom as I invest in you. And then like and follow me on all social media because you don't know if you miss my email, you'll miss the class that is that topic. So share it with all your friends. Let them know that we're about change. But it's not me changing you. It's God changing you. It's you changing you. It's your awareness giving you the desire to do something different and new with your life, that whatever you're doing is just not working anymore, and you know it. So, like and follow me on all social media, make comments, tell me what you think about this new sessions that we're doing, the segment that we're doing on Thursdays, that I want to call Thriving Thursdays, actually. But if I'm going to do a class, it's going to be on a Thursday, and that's when we will air it. And so make sure that you check out my my Shop Now bag. I've got some great new stuff that I am working on, that I am trying, and that I am going to share with you when the time is right, because it has to work with me in order for me to share it with you. It has to work on my body, my mind, like neurofeedback and brain tap and all these different things that I've done for myself to help me become a self-cleaning oven. That's what I say when you go through my workshops. You're a self-cleaning oven. So, also, you can become an enrolled student in the classroom because I'm going to start taking less and less. That we lost a couple of sponsors. We lost sponsors, period. And I don't know if I want sponsors. But we lost some incredible donors. And so I'm asking that if you want to get rid of that latte once a week and you want to donate it to the classroom, please consider it. You can go to whenyouneedafriend.com and click the donor section. And as a matter of fact, I think I'm going to start putting that link on the in the classroom, the description below, so that it's just easy for you. It's like how many people tell me, I really wanted to donate, but I got distracted. I had to go find the link. Well, now not anymore. It's now in everything that we put out. If you want to donate to the classroom, everything is welcome. Your time, your talent, and your treasure. So today, and if it's a one-time donation or a recurring donation, that is welcome as well. It's always good to know that we can depend on a recurring donation, but if it's a one-time thing, we'll make the best out of it. The costs have truly increased, and we need all the help that we can get. I declare that this year we're going to be self-sufficient with your funding, and no need for sponsors. And if people come on, and when people come on, that they don't get charged, so that you can have this actual information that is for free for you. So if you could help out, that will be great. So today we're talking about life coaching sessions, the change that we're doing in the classroom on Thursday. I want to call it Thriving Thursdays because that's what we want. We want to thrive. And so as we realize that there's something missing. Like I used to say, before going through a coaching program, a retreat that was just for me, it wasn't to fix anybody else, it wasn't to solve your problems, it wasn't to do anything other than to help myself heal. Until I went through that process, it was amazing how I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't recall that story about my grandmother. I recalled it, but I didn't think it affected me. But it was way I chose my first husband who didn't love me. He proved me right. We have these contracts with these people that breathe death onto us, so to speak. Like you're not enoughness kind of speaking to us. So it wasn't until I started doing that that I realized, I can change this about myself. What? I can do this? I believe in me. God believes in me. Everything happened for a purpose. I've always believed that, by the way, since I was 10 years old. 10 years old, I heard a priest say, there are people who complain that they don't have new shoes. But if you look at your neighbor, they may not have feet. At 10, I don't remember what else that priest said, but at 10, I remember learning. You know what, Lily? Be grateful for what you have because it could be worse. You could have no feet. And that became a part of who I am today. And what I tried to help people understand. But it wasn't until I chose this because I felt, And I never really said this out loud. I've said it in the classroom and I've said it when I do my workshops and webinars, and that when I was by myself and I was truly alone, I felt like there was a little hole in my soul. But if I listened closely, I could hear a little bit of a breeze go through it. I knew that there was something that wasn't right within me. And it wasn't until I said, I'm going to mend that hole instead of it getting bigger and bigger and bigger. By the time my son graduated from high school, and then he was going to be on his own, and our kids were all grown, and like, who am I? That hole became even bigger because I could no longer ignore it. But I had purpose. Now I didn't. At that moment, I didn't. Well, how do I do that? Well, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, ring, ring, I'm giving you a call. And this is what I want to do. I want to invite you. And that's what my friend Michelle said. And I said, yes. I didn't know what was involved. I knew that I didn't want to do anything near my church, near my friends. I wanted to do this on my own. And when I came back, man, I spoke a new language. But that was just my first one. Then I went to my second one. And then after my second one, I went through a whole process, a 3-month process. And then I volunteered and volunteered and volunteered. And then I went back and I said, can I do this as a coach? Can I become a certified life coach going through this program? Yes, you can. I'm in. I'm in. So you have the power. You have the power to change your life. And why? Because God gave that to you. Just like Jesus breathed into the nostrils of his disciples and said, you will do this and more, we too have that breath in us, that spirit of Jesus, a spirit of God in us. And it says in scripture that I can do all things through Christ. Guess what? Christ is in me. God is in you. Christ is in you. And I sometimes avoid using Christ because I want all of you to know most denominations believe in God. So I want to include most of you on this. So if you believe in God, we're in alignment. We are in alignment. So God gave you this grace, but are you tapping into it? Are you saying to yourself, God just helps everybody else but me? But in Romans 8, God works things out for the good of all. In Genesis 50:20, what man intends for harm, God intends for good. We have the scripture to support that everything has purpose in our life. What are we going to do about it? Are you going to email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com, text me, let me know that you sent me an email just in case you think I might miss it, which could happen. So text me and let me know at 407-373-5959 that you heard this and that you do have something that you want to share and you do not want your name used. You might say it's okay for me to say that it's a female or it's a male. That's it. Confidentiality is key. You tell me, if you want me to say Joanna from Montana said that this is what was going on. But if you don't want me to do that, maybe it's a praise report. Maybe it's something you tweak as a result of this class today. Maybe it's a praise report. You want to hear, you want to share how this message affected your life, that you are enough and that I believe in you. I believe in you. If you believe in yourself, you can do more things than if others believe in you, right? I believe in you, but it's a start. I believe in me. That's a beginning. So the classes will reveal whatever topic. So moving forward on Thursdays, you will see topics with just me, or you will see that we'll do a coaching session. If you want to be on the show and you want me to do a coaching session with you, we can have you there. If you don't want to be seen, you just want to be heard, we can do that too. I can ask you questions and you can respond. But this will be a quick thing because, in order for me to really get to know what's deeper than what you think, is I need to find out about a lot of other things. But I won't do that in a 1 hour because that's all I'll be doing that first hour. But if you want a solution and you want to ask the question, just send me an email at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. Who benefits from coaching? Everybody. Everybody benefits. Leaders, CEOs, doctors, lawyers, children, parents, spouses, friends, people who lack forgiveness, who are still feeling that they were harmed, shamed. Everybody. That includes you and that includes me. Again, coaches need coaches. I have my coach that I go to, and I love it. But for the most part, I can sit down, journal, and hear what God wants me to do. Sometimes that works. Oh, let me just rephrase that. Many times that works. All the time it works. If I listen, okay, okay, okay. If I listen, when I listen, it always works out. And even if the outcome is different than what I was expecting, just knowing that that's what God wanted for me, that's good enough for me. Because I may not know what my next step is, but God does. And that's good enough for me. It truly is. So, this is not a sales pitch, doesn't cost you a bit. I do ask if you can help donate to the classroom, all of you, whether you use the free coaching or free coaching advice or whatever. I do ask that all of you help donate financially to the classroom. That'll help me continue to do this. And I do appreciate every penny. For those of you who donate $1, thank you. For those of you who donate $1,000, thank you, thank you, thank you. But you can donate whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. Part of the donation goes to a PayPal or whatever that credit card company. They take like 3% of whatever you donate. So just know that that I'm not getting the entire amount. That I'm trying to remember, how much they charge, but I think it's like 4% or whatever. But this is an invitation, and you get to decide if you accept the invitation or you don't. Either way, it's up to you. It doesn't offend me if you don't want to use my coaching services or that you don't care about my opinion. It doesn't bother me at all. Good for you. It's wonderful that you have that way that you say, okay, this is what I want to do and this is what I'm going to do. And I had children with all the spectrum, there were children that I needed to remind, you have to do this, you got to do this. And there were other children that I have that you didn't have to remind anything. They were organized, they knew exactly what they needed to do, that, but each one of them was able to work within their parameters. Good. That's what we all want. We want to work within what we have. But what I want to avoid is that you write the question, or would I want to encourage you? Let me just rephrase that. I want to encourage you to write the question for you. How can you deal with something as opposed to how can I change my spouse? Do I need to stay? Do I need to walk away? Do I need to run? It's like that, is it Kenny Rogers song about the guy that plays poker? You never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your life. I'm talking about you've got one life. What kind of impact do you want to leave behind? What kind of life do you want to live? What kind of words do you want people to say about you when you're gone? When you're not in the room, like, wow, they're bright light. They're shine bright like a diamond. Boy, I'm quoting a lot of songs today, huh? But I want to encourage you to be all about you. I want to learn how to deal with this person. I want to see with different eyes, with godly eyes. I want to forgive the wrong that was done. How do I start? Those are just ways to write the question without blame, without shame, without fault, without duty. It's more like I want to change my life, or I want to improve it, or I want to be better at, even a better athlete. How to move forward when you've just hit the ball incorrectly or caused your team to lose, but you didn't. That's a collective thing. Anyway, will you join me with this new venture, this new segment that we're doing on Thursdays? You'll either have me by myself talking about a topic, or you'll have me by myself answering your questions. Either way, this is your class, this is our class, and now you get to have your thumbprint there. You get to tell me what you want to hear, what topics you want. You're in power. I'm empowering you so that we can all learn and grow together. Go to whenyouneedafriend.com, check out some of the previous shows, share this with your friends, let them know that we're about growth, spirit, mind, and body. Are you ready? Are you ready to take part of this? I hope that you've already sent your first email. Pause the class and send your first email so that we can start working together. And please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you worldwide at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lily McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.